Hello, everyone. We are doing reading again for October 14th. You will need pages 42 and 44 in the Your Turn practice book. And you'll have it in your packet. And then you will also need the skinny, bigger book with the squirrel called Literature Anthology book. Okay? So those are what you're going to need. The 2 workbook pages and the Literature Anthology book. The bigger squirrel page or book with the key, and it's taller. Okay, but it's still kind of skinny there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is read you a story. These are called oral vocabulary cards. We're going to read a story and talk about some vocabulary words. I love reading these. It's so much fun. Okay? So we have a coyote. I say coyote. We have a rabbit and a coyote race. Okay? If a rabbit and a coyote raced, who do you think would win and why? I think coyotes are faster than rabbits. I don't know. Long ago, Rabbit was sitting near a large cactus plant in the hot desert when Coyote came running by. Coyote stopped and greeted Rabbit. "Hello," he said. "What are you doing?" First of all, we can already tell that is this real or make-believe? It's make-believe because animals don't talk, right? Coyote stopped and greeted Rabbit. "Hello," he said. "What are you doing?" "I was thinking about how fast you can run," replied Rabbit. "I was also thinking that I can move just as fast by hopping." "That is not true," said Coyote angrily. "I can move faster than any animal in the land. In fact, I am the best at every physical activity." Let's talk about what physical means. Physical is something that has to do with the body. So Coyote is saying if it has some kind of movement to do with the body, he can do it as fast as anybody. An example of the word physical. Some physical activities I like are walking, jumping, and swimming. What physical activities do you like to do? Okay, physical means moving. Then Rabbit said, "Let's have a race next week. You can run and I will hop and we will find out who is faster." "I like that idea," exclaimed Coyote. "And to make the race even more exciting, the winner gets to eat the loser." Oh no! I can't really see a bunny eating a coyote, can you? Okay. So let's see what the next part of the story is. So this is what happens first. And now let's see what happens next. Looks like they're racing, doesn't it? "I agree with your plan." Agree means you have the same idea about something. "I agree with your plan," said Rabbit, but secretly he had his own plan. Rabbits are kind of smart. That night he spoke to his family. "In order to beat Coyote, you will have to help me," he explained. "You can begin the race underground and get a head start. Then you can each pick a spot and wait there." Oh, I think he's going to trick him because bunnies all look the same. So he's going to have some bunnies up ahead that are his family members. I think he's going to trick Coyote. He pointed to his brother. "When I get to you, I will be tired. You can pop up and replace me. Coyote won't know the difference." Then he pointed to his sister. "You can go even further. And when our tired brother gets to you, you can pop up and replace him." Rabbit continued in this way until he had included his whole family. Then they all raced off underground to wait. On the day of the race, Coyote and Rabbit met by the cactus plant again. "Are you ready to race?" asked Coyote. "Let's race," said Rabbit. "You can run across the land as you always do. I will hop across the land as I always do. We'll race to the four corners of the land. We will see who is faster." And with that, the two began to race. Okay, so what's happening? Coyote met Rabbit. Coyote asked Rabbit what he was thinking about. Rabbit said, "I'm thinking you're fast, but I'm just as fast." So they decided to have a race, and the winner gets to eat the other one. That's what happened first. What happened second is the rabbit asked his friends, his family, to help him. He's going to cheat, isn't he? He said, you go up on ahead, and when I get to you, you start running because I'll be tired, and so on. Okay, so that's what's happening now. Coyote ran east for several days. I haven't had this much exercise in a long time. When you exercise, you move your body. Jogging, swimming, and hiking are all ways to exercise. How do you like to exercise, and how often do you do it? Coyote ran east for several days. He had a lot of exercise. Meanwhile, Rabbit hopped behind him. At least, that is what Coyote thought. However, when he looked ahead, he saw a rabbit. "I'm winning," yelled the rabbit. Of course, Coyote thought it was the first rabbit. He didn't know that this was Rabbit's brother who had popped out of a hole. Coyote turned and began to run north. He ran north for several days. As he ran, he thought he was beating Rabbit, who was hopping behind him. However, when Coyote looked ahead, he couldn't believe his eyes. Rabbit was now ahead of him. He's being tricked, isn't he? "I'm beating you," called the rabbit. Of course, Coyote didn't realize that this was Rabbit's sister. Now Coyote tried even harder. He ran west as fast as he could. He ran for several days. Once again, he thought he was beating Rabbit. However, when he looked ahead, Rabbit was hopping in front of him once again. "You are a slowpoke," yelled the rabbit. Of course, Coyote didn't know that this was Rabbit's uncle. Turning south, Coyote tried to run even faster. By now, he was completely exhausted. When you are exhausted, you are very tired. Can you think of a time that you were really exhausted? I bet. When he finally reached the southern corner of the land, Rabbit was still ahead of him. Of course, Coyote didn't know that this wasn't the rabbit he made the bet with. It was Rabbit's cousin. Because they all look alike, right? Okay, so what happened first? So far, Rabbit and Coyote made a deal to see who could run the fastest. And the winner gets to eat the other one. How gross. And this one is, they're starting the race, but Rabbit made a plan to cheat. And on number 3 card, Rabbit's winning, and he called Coyote a slowpoke, but that's not the original rabbit. It's a family member, right? Okay, this is the ending card. Oh, look at that picture. Let's predict who won. I think Rabbit did, don't you? It took Coyote several days to limp back to the starting point of the race. What does it mean to limp? That's a movement, isn't it? Lots of movement happening in this story. What does it mean to limp? Like your paws kind of hurt or your foot is hurt? When he finally arrived, Rabbit was already there. I can see that the race was difficult for you. Difficult means really hard. Hard to understand or hard to physically do," said Rabbit, looking very relaxed. "I guess I can hop faster than you can run. Now come here so that I can eat you." Coyote felt ashamed. He was embarrassed. He knew Rabbit would not eat him, but he ran away as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all because he was hurt and tired, exhausted. That night, Rabbit's family gathered together. They laughed and laughed as they talked about the trick they played on Coyote. They knew that Coyote would never again brag about being the fastest animal in the land, and they were right. Okay, so what two animals is this story about? Yep, a rabbit and a coyote. Where were they? Kind of in the desert? What were they talking about? Yep, who was faster? How does coyote move? Runs, right? How does rabbit move? Yep, hops. What trick are the rabbits playing on coyote? They keep positioning themselves up ahead and giving each other breaks. How does coyote feel when he sees rabbit hopping ahead of him? He feels sad, doesn't he? He feels like, oh, I thought I was winning. And who won the race? Well, rabbit, but he cheated. How did he do it? Well, we know that he had his family help. What did the animals do after the race? They laughed. I kind of feel bad for Coyote, don't you? He tried very hard. And you know what? The real answer to this is cheaters never win. Cheaters never prosper. I would rather lose than cheat. Because if I win by cheating, I don't feel very good about myself. And I like to feel good about myself. Okay? All right. So I could retell that story, and we kind of did as we went along. What happened first, next, then, and last. And remember, hold on one second. Remember to ask yourself questions about the story as you read. Okay, which we kind of did that. All right, so now we are ready to review some high frequency words that I need you to know. And this first word is going to be on your words to know, your ring of word.
Jump.
Jump.
Jump. I like to jump.
Jump. Jump. Jump. And next one.
Move.
Move like a cow, remember?
Move. Can you move this big box?
Move. Move. Notice when I write, I start at the top and move down with my strokes. Move.
Run. RUN. We will run to school.
Run. RUN. Run.
Two.
Two.
TWO. Brad has two black cats.
Two. This two, TWO means the number 2. There are 3 different ways to spell 2. TO, TOO, and TWO. This word means the number 2. Okay? I'm going to need you to get out your workbook page 42. Should be in your packet, or it's if you are an online child only, yours will be in your turn practice book, page 42. So you get yours out, and I'm going to get mine up here on the board. Give me 1 second here. No, I gotta find the workbook page. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so you're going to look at the words. There, you have your words at the top. Oh, this is a little different one, sorry. But go ahead and look at your words on the top. You have jump, move, run, and 2. And number 1 says, I can. Look at the picture. Write a word at the top that goes with the picture. Then I want you to take a picture of that and send it to your teacher. So go ahead and pause me and finish that up. Now I gotta go. And now we're ready to look at another story. Move and Grin. And this is going to be in that squirrel book, the reading writing workshop book. This is going to be in that reading writing workshop book. I think I told you wrong at the beginning. It's not reading anthology. Reading writing workshop book. Move and Grin. So it's the smaller book. So I'll wait just a second for you to get that one. Move and Grin. Okay. How does your body move? Read about how animals and kids move. Move and grin. And there's that GR, that consonant blend. Grr. Okay? All right, I know we read this. We're going to read it again today, and then we're going to actually do a workbook page over it, okay? Scott's frog can hop and jump. It can move its back legs. just like Scott can. Scott can, make sure you're pointing to your book as I'm reading it. Scott can hop and jump. 2, hop, hop, jump. Turn the page. Fran's dog can swim a lot. It kicks its 2 front legs. Fran can swim a lot too. Swim, swim, swim. Stan's horse can trot and run. It jogs on its big, long legs. Stan can trot and run too. Trot, trot, run. Skip's crab can grab. It can grab with its claw. Grab, grab, grab. Skip can grab too. Grab, grab, grab. What can Skip grab with? Okay, now we're going to go over this again, and then we're going to do a workbook page on it, okay? Key details tell important information about the text. One of the key details about the dog was it kicks its 2 front legs because it swims a lot, or that's how it swims a lot. Fran's dog can swim. It kicks its 2 front legs. Okay, we kind of went over that already. So we're going to go to this page, so you can turn the page to find this page. Write about the text. What steps does Skip take to reach up high? So if we go back and look at that picture of Skip reaching and grabbing, what all parts of his body did he need? He needed his hand, his arm, his leg, his head, and his foot, right? And he's reaching to grab something. Okay, Skip, what steps does Skip take to reach up high? We're going to answer this. We're going to use first, next, then, and last. This is how Skip reaches. First, okay, so we have a topic sentence. This is how Skip reaches. First, Skip looks up. He looks at the object he's going to grab. Next, Skip lifts his arm. If we look at the picture, it really helps us figure out how he's moving. Use the photo to answer the question. Make sure you answer the question in order that it happened. First, Skip looks up. Next, Skip lifts his arm. He looks up. Next, he lifts his arm. Then, so we did first, next, then. Then Skip raises his foot. Last, he grabs with his hand. So we had first, next, then, and last. This sentence is a statement telling what Skip does.
Then Skip raises his foot. Last, he grabs with his hand.
So these are statements telling you what Skip does, and it's telling you in order. First, it has the main idea. This is how Skip reaches. First, Skip looks up. Next, he lifts his arm. Then, he raises his foot. Last, he grabs with his hand.
Your turn. Use first, next, then, and last to describe the steps needed to make Fran's motions. Use text evidence to support your answer.
That means you just can't make something up. You have to use important details, key details from the story. You have to use text evidence. You have to go through the story, look at the pictures, read the words, and write down what happened from the story. You don't just make it up. So you have to make sure you're using words and details from the story. Okay, so this girl, Rose, answered the question, what steps does Skip take to reach up high? And she told how he reached up high. She told what he did first, next, then, and last. So it's very important, guys, when you're telling a story to start with the main idea, then what happened first, next, then, and last. Because you don't want to tell a story backwards. So if you go to a movie and your friends say, "Oh, I really want to see that movie. What happened in that movie?" You're not going to tell them what happened at the ending first, and then what happened in the middle, and then what happened in the beginning. No, you're going to tell them what happened at the beginning, middle, and end, right? So you go in order. Okay, there is a workbook page that I need you to get out now, and it is page 47. I'm going to bring it up here while you're getting yours out. To Your Turn Practice Book, page 47. Okay, I'm going to go all the way out and I'm going to go all the way back in so I can get the paper I need. There we go. Your Turn Practice Book, page 47. Okay, guess what? I cannot go back and redo this video, and I kind of made a mistake. We don't need page 47. We need page 44. I'm so sorry. We need practice book page 44. That's probably why you were having trouble finding it. So go to page 44. I'm going to go back. All right, this is the page that we're on right now. We're going to quickly fill in those details. First time I've done reading in a while on this. Okay, details about Move and Grin. Okay, so let's write details about what happened first in Move and Grin. Okay, so what happened first? Scott's frog can hop and jump. So we're going to find that detail page and we're going to write Scott's dog, or not dog, Scott's frog can hop and jump. That's what happened first. And Scott can too. That's what happened first. Scott's frog can hop and jump. Scott can too. Okay, pause it. Pause me and get that written. Pause me and get that written. And then we're going to go on to the next one, which the next thing that happened in Move and Grin is Stan and his horse. Stan and his horse can trot. Let's just leave it at that. Can trot Stan and his horse can trot. Period. Remember, capital letter, period. Okay? Pause me and copy that, please. Okay, let's move on. Oops. Oh, come on. Okay. And then Skip and his crab can grab. Period. Those are the three important details that happened in that story. Okay? So we told what happened first, next, and last in this graphic organizer. It's in the detail squares. Okay? So again, remember, when you're telling what happened, when you're retelling, you're going to tell what happened first, next, and last. Okay, go ahead and get this written. And then we're all done with reading for today. We kind of crammed in a few extra things this today and yesterday because we didn't have school on Monday. So, okay, so thanks for tuning in today. Bye, kids.